Just woke up here at Alta Lakes, and weirdly, it's only 41 degrees outside. Totally different temperatures every time I've woken up in Colorado. But it's still kind of cold, but I've had a solution. DC heated blanket and DC heated Lexus seat. I have a visitor. I don't know what it is. All right, this is going to be a 2-minute tour of my Lexus camper and how I've been living in it for the past week. It's working out great. So from the back, we got our cooking table, obviously. This little box I made is floor jack storage. Got to have the floor jack. This box up here is all of your ratchet straps, come along, recovery supplies. Also the camping stove and the pans, pots, the big camping stuff. This bag is all my food, dry food, Huel, powdered eggs, pancakes, etc. We got some silverware, and then we've got snackies. This bag is my overnight bag to go stay with a friend or a hotel or whatever. So it's got all my clothes, my laptop, a couple chargers, minimum toiletries. So that comes in handy. Moving around to the side, this is where the sleep platform extends behind the driver's seat. 6-inch memory foam mattress. Probably want to get a thinner, harder one, but it works. Then you got your platform underneath here. We've got the inverter. We've got a jump box, tool roll with a ton of tools. And then that tool bag that's right there is all of my air stuff, my air hose to air up the tires and tire repair stuff. And then we've got the Renogy 100 amp hour right there. So a lot going on under the platform. In the door, fire spray. I try to use the door bins a lot, wipes, stuff like that. In the driver's seat, not much to talk about here, just some soap. I do have dual fast wireless charging. So I got one phone going for maps or the front camera view, and another phone going for whatever else. In here, pretty well organized. Yep. Come around to the front. The front bumper has another 3 gallons of gas ratchet straight down onto it. A little GoPro mount for my front view camera for my spotter. Comes in really handy. Passenger seat, I keep it empty because I like to sit there and do editing. More stuff in the doors. And then this side, this bin works really good for water. I keep 4 gallons in there. If they leak, it'll catch it. That's already happened once. This bag is my heated blanket and some sleep stuff. That's all my GoPro stuff. There's a drone. There's a ton of stuff underneath the floor. I can't even get into it, but like spare tie rods. You see more butane there, more wipes. This bag is all of my DeWalt tools and zip ties and stuff like that. This bag is all my electrical supplies, soldering iron, voltmeter, anything I need to fix electrical problems. Yeah, that's about it. And you see I got some more shelf stuff up here. So at night, those bags come here and get stacked. And then I have a really big, nice sleeping area. It's been working out awesome. Also up top, we got a lot of stuff going up out there. That's stuff I don't use every day, like the chainsaw, extra gas, extra oil, tent, air mattress, stuff like that. I've had another friend come. I have a tent set up for them. More gas on the back door. And then we got a water tank up there for showers. It's been working really nice. Whenever I find a stream, I fill it up with stream water. So it's nice, refreshing stream water. But at the end of the day, it's plenty warm enough to shower with. The trail we're on now is Ophir Pass. It's a pretty mild blue. But the scenery, just like every other trail here, is spectacular. And the leaves are changing a lot in this area. In a couple of days, they'll be falling, and hopefully I'll still be here. Look how yellow and orange it is up there. Oh my God, I love it. So I'm just now getting to like the off-road part of it, as you can see right there. I just went through the town of Ophir. I don't know how to say it, whatever. It was really smooth up until here. There's a 10-minute speed limit in town, but I was cruising pretty good. But like all these trails, it quickly gets rocky and uncomfortable and you gotta slow down or you'll rattle your teeth in your vehicle to pieces. I think my vehicle would take it. I don't know about the stuff on my roof. That might fall apart. But basically just talking to this video to get some footage of this beautiful trees. Oh my God. It's gonna open up nicely here to this insane views just everywhere. Look at this. It's just huge. The main reason I'm doing this is because this is a good way to get back from Telluride over to like the Silverstone area where the bulk of the trails in this area are. So heading back kind of to where I started, if that makes sense. Jesus, look at that mountaina. So we're getting kind of close to the actual pass, which is I guess the highest point of it, as you can see there. And it's pretty rocky, and for once there's no one behind me, so I'm just taking advantage of that. I've got it in crawl control high, which is like, my off-road cruise control. And it's really relaxing to not have to do any throttle or brakes and just steer. And this is the exact speed you want to go over these rocks to not beat yourself up. Very premium experience. Actually see where I'm going to end up over here. That's the pass, that vertical or that horizontal, I don't know, diagonal line up the side of the mountain, and you can see where it switchbacks up there. So I'll be there in a second. Cannot get over how beautiful these forests are and how accessible they are. And they just, you get a little tunnel of trees and it opens up into this incredible mountain gorge view. This has got to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. In the world. Also, there's power coming across here. I don't know if that goes to tell you right or what, but those are big transmission lines way up over this pass. We're a little closer to the summit, I guess. You can see this crazy landslide action, this entire shelf right here. Little tiny Jeep up there for scale. It is huge. All right, we're on one of the coolest parts of the pass. There's this giant wall of rocks next to us. I'm still letting crawl control do its thing, even though it's really steep and there are some big rocks. It's doing a great job. I haven't had to lock the rear diff or anything, which is not surprising because this is like a medium trail, but kind of intense for a medium trail. I mean, any little rock fall would totally kill you and send you, to your death. I mean, look at these rocks just suspended above you. It's just freaking wild. You can see those Jeeps up there. I'm catching up with them a little bit. So there's a good view of the town of Ophir down there somewhere. We were just driving through there, 20 minutes ago. Now we're all the way up here. I'm excited for these cool switchbacks. I just saw that Jeep do one. This trail definitely surprised me. Definitely way cooler and more scenic and extreme than I was expecting. And now, yeah, definitely a little rocky right here. Crawl control doing its thing. Definitely had two wheels off the ground there. Didn't even touch the rear diff lock. What's cool is that I've been in crawl control now for like 30 minutes and it hasn't had a single hiccup. It hasn't timed out or said overheated or anything. I mean, I know it's not really doing much more than throttle right now because the brakes aren't being used much, but man, it's working great. It's so big. Yeah, this trail I feel like is way underrated. It didn't come very highly recommended or anything. It's one of my favorites for sure. It's not as long or as painful to get into or out of as the Imogene Pass or Yankee Boy Basin either. A lot of bang for your buck. I would definitely recommend this one because it's just a series of big potholes and you don't really have any line options you could take here. I'm actually going to slow down cruise control 1 degree. And by crawl control, I mean cruise. And there's a guy biking this. A guy just came up here on a freaking bike, believe it or not. He was pushing it a lot, but he made it all the way up here, so props. All right, going back down the east side of Ophir Pass. Still spectacularly gorgeous. Underneath the power line for a little while right here. Going downhill, crawl control is a little annoying. It's not quite fast enough, even in the highest setting. And the way the brakes pulse is kind of killing it. So I'm just doing foil low, got it locked in second gear to control my speed. When it flattens out like this, I go to third gear. And then once it gets steep again, I'll go back to second. Just completed Ophir Pass right here. And there's 550. Instead, I'm gonna go up this 820. Optional. It looked cool, doesn't look very heavily traveled. I'm trying to try out some of the trails that are less popular here because if I had one complaint, it would be that these trails see a lot of traffic and they're very busy, which makes sense because the scenery is so good. But it also means that the trails are all kind of, beaten down, wide, and not very technical. So I'm gonna start trying some of these other little ones that are on the MVUM maps as legal trails, but aren't like named trails that people have in books and stuff. But overall, I would definitely recommend Ophir Pass. It's probably my second favorite. If I want something a little less extreme, it would be my favorite. Right now, my favorite is still Imogene Pass, but that's a close second for being a lot less challenging. It's just because it's so much smoother, so much more enjoyable. Maybe in like a Bronco Raptor, you wouldn't care, but in a normal truck, in a Toyota, smoothness is important. Oh, look at these leaves. Some mud puddles. All right, I see you. Yeah, this definitely has a lot less traffic on it. It's a cool little trail. Yeah, so this is 820. It goes north right at the east end of Ophir Pass. Pretty cool. So it's a little climb right here. It's kind of steep, There's a Toyota RAV4 out here doing its thing. An XLE hybrid, no less. Gotta love Toyotas. I'd like to see the RAV4 go up this. I mean, you could do it, but it doesn't have really good control of the four-wheel drive system because the back's just electric, and I would find that very scary in that RAV4. All right, we're almost down to the highway, 550. That little extra trail was awesome, highly recommend it. Very smooth and scenic and nice and wooded, not as wide open as everything else. But yeah, overall, this is a great trail, highly recommend. From here, I'm gonna head north, and I'm gonna go up and do Mineral Creek and a couple of the other hard ones in that area again, because this is Thursday and I know it's going to get busy tomorrow and Saturday, and this truck isn't really big enough to be doing those trails, so I don't want to be holding people up on the weekends. I'm going to try to get out of my system now, and then over the weekend I'll do some of the easier, more scenic stuff. Oh, look at this little river crossing down here, this little wind-blown creek. How beautiful. Great excuse to wash off my brakes. Wow. Good thing, man, my water tank's full, but this is some nice clean water if I needed any. I have not had an issue finding water anywhere around here. It's a bit bumpy, but well worth it. We'll splash down. My poor truck. Taking a little break from the drive to have some lunch. So far, this is my favorite Huel, the yellow coconut curry. The setup takes like a minute to set up. Already boiling water. And I'll have a delicious lunch here in 5 minutes. Pretty sweet. Nice little creek area down here. Not a bad place to stop for lunch.